Hi everyone, my name is Grace Chang and I'm an attorney here at Tsang and Associates, and we're going to do a reaction video today. Today I'm going to be talking about the video titled EB-2 Approved for a Widow and Survivor of Domestic Violence. It's one of the hardest cases we've done so far, but it's also one of the cases that I'm so proud of, and I'm so grateful to our entire team that came beside me to do this case. So I'm really excited to share this with all of you guys. Let's get to it.
This is a formal challenge to anyone who has a more difficult case than this one. This is the most difficult case that we did all year, probably for the past 5 years. It took everyone to work together. The Spanish department, the English department, the Chinese department, the Korean department, the business department, the family department. Everybody was working on this case because we've never seen a case this difficult.
I remember when Joseph came to me and he told me, hey, there's this case. I don't know if it's possible. What do you think? I was like, let me look into it. So I did some research. I spoke with Gabby in our Spanish department. We reached out to outside counsel. We had multiple people doing research to see if this is a possible case. And the complication is because we're trying to get a green card for a widow when her husband has already passed away. And it's been almost 10 years. And so it's like, can she still get the green card? Here's all the, complicating factors. But yeah, it was really cool to see everyone come together and from the very beginning to see if we can get this case approved.
During the time that she was here on F1 status, when she was an international student pending, she was abused by her husband. So she was on a VAWA application to preserve her status in the US. And then they originally came as a J1, so there was a J1 waiver issue. And now she's married to somebody else. So, I mean, there's just so many things that's all like convoluted and all tied together. We need to prove that she is a qualifying applicant.
The reason why it is complicated is because you have to prove that there was a real marriage between the husband and wife. I mean, the reason why she's able to get the green card is because she's the spouse of this applicant, right, who is her ex-husband. But if she's a victim of domestic violence, there might be questions about, well, was their marriage bona fide? And we were able to prove that because our client was great and she kept all the records. And we were able to prove, yes, she was. And we had a VAWA application, so it showed that even the US government approved and gave her an EAD at the time. If, if someone watching this video is in a similar situation, I would say make sure you document everything, because the relief is for people who can show their presence in the United States. Make sure that you also share everything with your attorney. The circumstances is not just about the EB-2 case or the EB-3 case or whatever it might be. Make sure you present yourself in the full picture. What do you do? Who do you take care of? Who relies on you? Why should the government give you discretion to stay in the United States, to grant you a green card, right? To have a pathway to citizenship. This is a type of application where you are really relying on the discretion of the officer that's reading your case. So anything to present yourself in the best light possible to favor, to win the favor of the officer, now is the time, right? So don't be shy, don't be humble. Bring everything to the table and make sure you find someone who's able to tell your story well.
We also really focused on her background. She wasn't just this nobody coming from India, being able to stay here for 10 years, being able to push through so many parts of immigration on her own and overcome one problem after another. She has a bachelor's degree in medicine. She knows how to do surgeries. She is an important member of the American Commonwealth. And so she is going to...
Yeah, our client is pretty amazing. She was a scholar in her own right, and she was studying health disparities. And this was during COVID, so it's like how COVID was impacting different communities of color. It was really relevant. One of the nicest clients I've ever had, always grateful. She would just check in with us. And because we worked on this case for so many months through different years, we really had a really close relationship. She would share like very personal things about things that were going on, difficulties related to her case. And we always try to, put our heads together to figure out what's the best step, what she should do next. So yeah, she's always so nice and so grateful.
This proves to us, and also it's a lesson for our firm, that you don't want to shy away from challenges. If it's possible, then we just try. We try our best. You know, the client, we were honest with them. We were not trying to sell them to, hey, we could for sure do it. Each step of the way we know how to do. We know how to do a 45 application. We know how to do a J1 waiver. We know how to do EB-2s. But in this kind of VAWA complicated situation for an India client that's been here for 10 years and that everybody else rejected, and we were also short-handed at the time, the client was willing to trust us. They had faith in us. We put everything together. And I'm glad the case was approved very smoothly.
Another thing that wasn't mentioned is that she was also taking care of her 8-year-old US citizen son. So she was a mother, a single mother on top of that. I mean, now she's remarried, but at the time there was a period of time where it was just her and her son. And so we were just so thrilled when she got her green card. And yeah, I'm just so glad that we were able to help her. And I would say that when we first started this case, we did consult with outside other attorneys, just mentors, and say, what do you think about this case? And we did hear back from some people like, I don't know if you should take this case. It's a big liability. It's a big risk. But, you know, I talked about it with Joseph, and he said, if there's a way we can get this done, you know, if you're up for the challenge, I'm up for the challenge. And I said, let's do it. And so here we are. We saw this great, you know, this case get approved, and now our client can benefit because of that.